Hey everybody, what a crazy week, huh? I know we had a huge turnout yesterday to talk about the NAR lawsuit, and as you can tell from my voice, it's pretty well worn out after yesterday. So, battling a cold right now, so I appreciate you putting up with that. So, want to talk about just kind of a little recap from what we talked about yesterday. So, I think we had a total probably close to 40 agents that were on the call, and I know was recorded and sent out to you guys. So please, if you weren't at the meeting or on Zoom for the meeting, make sure that you're watching the meeting because it was really, really, really good, informative. We all walked away feeling very, very secure. Some new developments that have already happened today. We're probably going to be a broken record on this because I think developments are going to be happening a lot as we're going forward. But some new developments that I just thought it was important to maybe talk about with you guys today. They came out with a list of, it's actually 94 real estate companies and real estate brokerages throughout the United States that have over $2 billion in annual revenue, which is annual sales. And those were not included in the NAR lawsuit. So they are independent brokerages, independent real estate companies, companies like EXP, Real Broker, Fathom, that are actually, the brokerages are the real estate company itself. They don't sell franchises or anything like that. So they are not protected. And just for example, Compass is responsible now for $565 million in fine. EXP is responsible for $398 million in fines. And so just wanted to kind of share with you that there's a whole bunch of real estate companies that we saw post today from an EXP agent that said, I am so glad that EXP did not lower themselves to these standards and settle on this lawsuit. It's absolutely BS, it's bogus and everything else. Well, guess what? We were found guilty of antitrust violations and price fixing. We were found guilty. The award to the plaintiffs was $4.8 billion. You can disagree with it. You can be pissed about it. You can argue about it and whatever. But the bottom line is the defendants are responsible for paying it. Now, the defendants that settled, again, with the National Association of Realtors, we are protected in the fact that we, as a franchise for Realty One Group, number one is we're under $2 billion in volume, but because I am a member of National Association of Realtors, all of you guys are protected also. So the good news from our side is that we are protected. We can already start going forward with what is this going to look like? What's this going to be different in our world? And these other brokerages and real estate companies, they're not able to necessarily move forward. They can certainly put, some of the changes in place like we're talking about, do a better value of proposition, better buyer's presentation and things like that. They're still got this dark cloud hanging over top of their head. So one of the things I forgot to mention to everybody yesterday was go forth and multiply. All right. I am so excited because this is going to give us an opportunity to grow our company in this situation. Right. So what I'm asking for you to do is just reach out to your friends in the real estate world that are at different companies and just ask them, what's it look like at your company? Is your broker actively preparing you to be able to handle these questions by your clients and things like that? Or are they getting crickets? Because everybody we're talking to so far are getting crickets from their broker, and you're not getting crickets from your broker. I'm getting you prepared to, when the phone rings or a text message comes over, or post on your social media, email, whatever it is, you know how to respond to it, okay? We're going to have you running here in just a very short period of time. You are going to be miles ahead of everybody else in preparing for how to navigate what our new world looks like. In the end, everybody pretty much said the same things, okay? And in the end, it's not going to change an awful lot, right? We're not going to be able to put the buyer's broker compensation on the MLS. So we'll figure out a different way that we're going to be able to advertise the buyer's broker compensation. You're going to have some sellers that say, I'm not going to pay a buyer's broker compensation. Your question is, do you still want to take the listing then or not? That seller might be contacting you in another 60 days if he hasn't sold his house by not offering a buyer's broker compensation. You're going to have the buyer come up with some of the buyer's broker compensation. Couple little twists and changes that came up with that I just wanted to talk about is number one is right now, unfortunately, the veterans are getting another slam because right now the veterans are not able to pay a buyer's broker representation. And they what we're hearing from the loan officers is that the VA will address this and they will change that, by the middle of July. So that's a good news. Another thing in a mastermind I had with Realty One Group today that was really, really, really exciting is that one of the brokers I was on the call, when she does CMAs, one of the fields that she includes in a CMA is what the buyer's broker representation contract co-op compensation is. And so think about that. You're going in on a CMA, you got 4, 6, whatever it is, comps that you're using, especially going forward, bring a report in that shows what is the average compensation paid out on the comps that you're using to support the pricing of this home, because that might make it that much easier for the seller to agree to pay a buyer's broker compensation. What a great idea, huh? I am putting, if you weren't on the call, come into the office, go to the resource room. I'm going to put some of these workbooks out into the resource room. You're going to see a handful of them so that you can grab them so you can kind of get some ideas of what our meeting was like yesterday. But one of the last things I want to talk about before I jump off the video with you is this graph right here. I thought it was really, really imperative because, my story, I got into the business in 07, 06, 07 when everything was crashing. And the 2010 on were some of my best years in real estate. If you look at the transactions annually in the United States, typically it's about 5.5 million houses a year sold in the United States. 2008, we were down to 4.12 million. 2010, 4.18 million. 2010 was my best year in real estate. Why? Because if you look at 2010, there was 1 million agents that were in the United States, licensed realtors in the United States, 1 million. Today, 1.6 million, okay? So look at 2021 when everything was so damn crazy. 2021, we were running 3.76 transactions annually per agent, right? In 2018, 4.3 transactions per agent. 2012, 4.76 transactions per agent. Just because transactions might be down, if the agent's count is down, that doesn't affect your volume, okay? If the transactions are up and the agent count goes up, okay, that can affect your volume. So if we're going to lose agents in our industry, which we know we're going to, right, that doesn't mean that your transactions are going to go down. That's what we're going to do is prepare you how to increase your transactions in a shifting market. I'm so fired up and so excited. I hope you are too. You're in the right company, but please do me a favor, go forth and multiply. Share what's happened to us this last week because you are in the right company. EXP that is got to pay out $388 million. Guess what? They're going to be charging their agents on that. All of these other brokerages that are in splits are going to have higher splits with their agents, and they're going to take a bigger chunk of the pie. Not at Realty One Group, because you just pay a transaction fee. Nothing's going to change. So you're in the right company, okay? You can tell how excited I am. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Have a great weekend.